Disclaimer, if this video leaves something to be desired from a visual standpoint, it's because I am blind and I don't know that the picture needs to be adjusted, let alone how to adjust it. Eventually I'll get better about that. I want to throw that up there every time because you never know when this video is going to be the first one. You never know when any individual video is going to be the first one a person watches. And the first thing that most people probably notice, because after all, most people who watch YouTube can see, and even more the people that do YouTube can see. I'm one of probably a very few blind people that actually try to do a YouTube channel, but probably the first thing that a sighted person notices about my videos is it's like, I'm sure one of the first things they think is, geez, that's a horrible picture. What's the matter with her? Well, she's blind and she doesn't see how bad the picture is. And even if she does see how bad the picture is, she doesn't know how to make it better. So that's what that situation is. So now that I've spun away a minute and a half talking about that, probably. Hi, everybody. Well, I don't have a whole lot planned for today. Going to Sprint, again, talking to him. I am not going to promise that I'm going to do anything. I don't even know. I was thinking that I would just see about getting on some kind of trial period, if I can do that, where I can take the phone home and just try it, see if it's going to work in this apartment. But even that, I don't know if I should be doing that either. It's probably going to cost money to get the phone, get the plan started, get this, get that. And I don't even know that I should be doing that right now. I was hoping I'd be alright in spite of the fact that I've lost my job, but I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know where the money would come from to... And I have to resist the temptation to say, it's okay, I'll just put it on the credit card. Because that comes back and kicks you in the ass every time. What happens is, if you put $500 on the credit card, thinking, well, it'll come to pass somehow, that's the worst possible way to do it. If you put it on the credit card saying, well, I know where it's going to come from, that's one thing. But if you... I mean, I should know. I do this to myself. I put something on the credit card hoping that it'll work itself out, basically. And then it doesn't. And until I know how it's going to work out, putting another phone or another phone plan on a credit card, I think, is not a good idea. Because the X number of $100 that my job would have brought in to help pay for that is not there. So until I know where that money is, I shouldn't do that. I kind of wonder if I should really even keep that. I made an appointment, so I'll go ahead and go in, but I wonder if I should even keep it with that in mind.
11:37 a.m.
Either way, it's 11:37, and I've got about 2 hours, give or take, before my ride comes to take me there, so Like I said, I'll go ahead and go, but I'm not promising anything to anyone. And I know you're going, why are you putting your bad habits out there for the whole universe to see? Well, if I can get even one person to not make the same mistakes that I so readily make by thinking, well, the money will fall into place, and putting stuff on the credit card that I really shouldn't put on the credit card, because truly, my life won't end if I don't buy that. I may not be really happy with what I have, but my life won't end if I don't buy that. And I don't have a financial outlook that really supports it, so I shouldn't get it. You know, if I can get one person to think that, you know, to not buy that thing that they want so bad, but they, honest to God, they can't afford it, then I think the mistakes that I make and putting it out there aren't in vain. Obviously, I'm not gonna say, oh, I went this far into debt trying to deal with this, that, and the other thing. I mean, you know, all those details are no one's business, but I'm just saying that don't make the mistake that I so often make. It's a struggle for me just as much as it might be for somebody else out there. And we gotta we both have gotta work on this and, you know, try to remember, hey, this isn't a good plan. Which is why I'll go to the Sprint store, I'll keep my appointment, but I don't know if I'm going to come back with anything. Or if I do, I want to make sure that it won't be a whole bunch of money that, I mean, of course, if I could get the paperwork I need to prove to my apartment manager that I just lost a bunch of income because I don't have this job anymore, my rent could go down, and then maybe I could be able to afford that. But I need to go back and plan on buying that after I know, okay, now I have to pay X number of dollars less in rent, not before. Because, again, I need to know it's there before I just do it. Because at the moment, it's not there. And this has happened before. It's not there, but I figure, well, it'll show up. It'll happen. And then it doesn't. It's a cycle I've been trapped in for a long time, and all doing this again would be to make it worse. And I babble and say something 100 different ways and spend 6 minutes talking about one thing. You know, I feel like I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place because right now I'm spending almost $100 on my freaking cell phone. I do not need that much. Probably don't even need that much, but I am right now spending almost $100 on my cell phone, my current cell phone, and I would bet that Sprint could give me a plan that would do would do what I need it to do and not cost so much. The problem is, what's it going to cost to get that started? And again, the money that I have, I mean, it's the 20, what is today? I've got this thing telling me, speaking in my ear, telling me what. It's July 23rd. This small amount of money that's in my bank account right now has got to last until the 1st. That's 8 days. And I've already got things that I'm going to need to get. In fact, I don't even think that the amount of money that I have in there is going to last anyway. I'm going to have to put something... I'm either going to have to put something on the credit card or go into savings just for that. And save... Well, first of all, there are things to save for even without not having a job, but even though I believe that there is a job out there, I don't know when I'm going to find it, which means I don't know when I'm going to have any more money coming in to put toward savings or to put toward, you know, anything. So, again, I kind of question the wisdom of, even if it is going to save me some money in the long run, I kind of question the wisdom of starting it right now. Okay. On my way to the Sprint store. I'm really, do I want to do this now? Do I want to wait until I've got another job?
I'll give you, I'll run your credit, see what we get approved for. If there's no down payment, I'll see how much data do you have right now, like internet, do you have with Verizon on your phone, you know?
Well, $30 isn't that bad, and I'm going to put it on the debit card, so it's not going to come back to... It's not going to come back to bite me later because I've got to pay the credit for it. Well, I went ahead and tried. I'm gonna try it for this 30-day period, maybe even less than that, depending on how much time I need. And then I'm either gonna buy this phone out and go to Sprint, or tell Sprint this isn't going to work as well as I was hoping it would, and let's just cancel this whole thing and stick with Verizon. It's the buying out the iPhone that is kind of the issue right now. They're going, well, we can buy it out. Well, the thing is, if I buy that out, I'm either going to have to give the Sprint phone back to them, and they'll buy out the Verizon phone, and then we can put the Verizon phone on the Sprint network, or I can outright buy I can trade phones with them. Either way, I've only got the one iPhone, and I wouldn't care if... I'm kind of disappointed in that 64 gig iPod because I really bought it so that it could be my YouTube camera, and the sound quality, like I said before in other videos, I just am not happy with it, and really I'm happier with this one. So the bottom line is, it's either stick with this iPod and constantly wipe stuff off of it so it doesn't do what it did a couple days ago and stop me in the middle of a vlog and say, hey, you can't record anything else. You gotta free up space. And then I try to free up space and it won't even take that. I've got to reset the whole thing and then lose the whole vlog like I did last time. Or settle for the 64 gig that just doesn't seem to meet my standards, or find a way to buy out the Verizon iPhone myself and use the Verizon iPhone as the YouTube camera. But this all assumes that I'm going to be happy with Sprint. There's no reason to assume that I won't be, but there's no reason to just assume that I will be either. I need to go home and work with this thing. And the first thing I need to do is, I'm in settings. The first thing I gotta do is turn off this screen lock after a minute, because that's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, well, I'm happy with the way that experience happened. I just need to, like I said, get home and see what the network is like in my place.
So rude.
What are they doing?
They don't let you in. There's no way they want to get behind a big old white press. They're going to stop by anyways, so hey, you're going anywhere.
And if we ever get past this little traffic impasse, I'll get home and see what happens here. Okay. I'm home. And I wonder what the reception is in here. I noticed when I was out in the hall, it was only down to one bar. I guess I could compare it to
1 of 5 bars. Signal
still
strength.
at one bar.
Status bar item.
Well, this is
3:09 p.m. 3 of 5 Verizon wireless network.
yeah, this is at 3 bars. Well, this has only got
1 of 5 bars.
it's still
Signal
on
strength.
one bar.
Status bar item.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know. That kind of fake phone call, test phone call, sounded pretty good. Of course, it was one of these automated systems. So I'm not sure what a good real test that is. I just need to maybe call the lift and other places where either people don't recognize who I am from the caller ID, or what I need to do probably is just text my best friend who I just got a text from, I finally texted her and said, hey, I've been meaning to call you, and now I know what's going on with her, and really, she's going to be probably most available like Tuesday, so I might just call her then, but not before maybe texting her and saying, hey, if you see this weird looking number, here's what the number is. It's me trying out my new phone. And that's the kind of phone call that I really need to like make using this new phone so I can see what, in spite of what it might say. It says it's only one bar, but that sounded pretty good, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Technically, I've got a month to try it out, but I want to do as much as I can on this one so that I'm trying to give it as fair of a test as I can. I just set a lift up for tomorrow and saw a definite difference between Verizon and Sprint, unfortunately. The call didn't drop, but you could definitely tell when you were getting kind of close to the edge of, good versus it might make it might get iffy, it might, I don't know. I haven't canceled Verizon yet. And I'm not sure I really want to. I think I really need to take a good, cold, hard look at the situation. Do I want another iPhone? Or do I want Sprint? I mean, do I want another iPhone or do I want to switch carriers? Or do I want to just... There's nothing wrong with Verizon. There's nothing overtly wrong with Verizon. What happened was I was impressed with Sprint's kind of commitment to people with disabilities. And, they were talking about that, and I was impressed by that. And, of course, the advertising, don't let 1% difference in network cost you twice as much. Well, in a way, it's almost worth paying twice as much if you have good coverage, which Verizon does. Sprint's got relatively good coverage too, but there is that difference. See, the difference is just enough for me to notice it. And if I canceled Verizon and went with Sprint, I'm not sure I'd be as happy with it as I am with Verizon. I hate to say that, but it's true. And what's the bottom line problem here? The bottom line problem is that I've got a 64 gig iPod that won't record like I want it to. And I want to get an iPhone for a YouTubing camera. That's what I really want. Let's just face it. Let's look at the elephant in the room. That's what I really want. More than changing iPhone carriers, more than changing even more than changing plans on my phone, I want to change the camera situation so I don't have to choose between the tiny iPod or the big iPod with the not so great quality. You're going to get so sick of hearing about this when I live through the end of this, because I keep coming back to it. I'm sorry, but that's kind of what I keep thinking about. Well, I think I've made my mind up about Sprint, unfortunately. And I'm not going to go turn around and get Uber and run right back now and take it all back, but I'm gonna maybe wait a couple days. But my inclination is to turn this around while I still can. And just stay with Verizon. Just because well, I can talk to Verizon. I mean, not Verizon. I can talk to Sprint. Actually, I could get another iPhone if I... Except I'd have that problem with... I could talk to Sprint about maybe getting prepaid and... No, maybe I don't even need to go there. Maybe I just need to... The most inexpensive way to do this would be to turn this around with Sprint first and foremost. I think I pretty much decided I'm going to do that. And then go back to Apple and say, why won't this one record like this one? Is there any way to change the settings to make this one record like this one? If we could do that, and I could get the 64 gig acting like this 32 gig, that would be it. The problem with going to an Apple store, an outright Apple store, is that the one I've gone to before, the door-to-door transit service no longer is a door-to-door transit service when it comes to that location. They will not pick you up at the door. And I will not ask somebody who works at the Apple store to take me all the way out to the damn bus stop where they expect people to wait at. But I might be going to a location kind of near there anyway for another reason. And if I do that, I'll have somebody picking me up and taking me there. Like a human being that has, well, not that human beings don't drive the door-to-door. I'm just saying that there's a difference between having a person who knows you and understands the kind of help you need driving you versus having somebody constrained by the limitations put on you by the door-to-door transit agency. Let me call him and talk to him about the possibility of going to that area. And then if we're going there anyway, I could see about getting an appointment to the Apple store. One last ditch effort to get this 64 gig to record like I want it to. If I can't do that, then I'm probably going to have to just settle for this and constantly try to clear stuff out so that I don't run out of room until I can get another job and feel better than I do right now about just getting an unlocked iPhone. But I am not switching to Sprint. It's that so-called 1% difference in network is just enough of a percentage of a difference where I am, where I spend a lot of time, that, and I guess I am just picky enough that I don't want to settle for that smallest bit less, small as it may seem. So, well, I couldn't have known that if I didn't try, so I'm glad I tried. Okay, I think I'm going to call this the end of tonight's vlog, tonight's vlog, because it is like 7 o'clock at night, and I don't think there's going to be anything else happening tonight, so I hope you have liked what you've seen, and I hope if you do, you'll like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.